Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's video I wanted to show you that area that's in front of all the buildings that's so hard to see. It's what everyone thinks, including myself for a while, that it's terrain, but it's really not terrain. And your eye is drawn to the buildings that that you can see easily. And in my last video, I talked about this and I showed a small example of that area in front of the buildings. And I wondered how much I have missed in my previous videos. How much could I have shown? There was probably a lot of stuff there that I missed. So I decided to go back where it all started, where I found the original city, Gale City. And it is a challenge to show you this area, particularly because I'm such an amateur. I mean, I've only been doing this 6 months, and there's so much to learn. I mean, so much to learn. I'm sure the other guys that do what I do can do a fabulous job with these same pictures. I wish they would. And let's not also forget the fact that NASA's done their best to obscure these pictures. Everything gets slathered in chocolate milk. If it's not big and dark, it's not going to stand out. Looking at the train on Mars because of that chocolate milk, it reminds me of Cocoa Puffs. You pour the dark colored Cocoa Puffs in, you put the milk in, and the milk turns chocolatey, and you got this chocolate milk and the little heads of those Cocoa Puffs sticking out, the dark part. These are typical structures of what I see all over the place, everywhere. And in all of those pictures right there, except for the one that looks like a hamburger, I don't know if those are windows or openings. You see them in all the pictures, you kind of think they're pixels or something. And then you have the stair-step buildings and also the ones that look like temples. I watched a video on, or not a video, but a show on TV the other day, and they were talking about all the different temples around the world. It looks just like those. And then there is, of course, the cityscapes with the big tall buildings all in a row, and also the little box buildings that you see on the ground sometimes. And in this picture here, which I said was the one I used for my original city picture, if you see the hill in the background back there, maybe 10 miles away or so, that's Gale City PUD, and on the other side of that hill is Gale City. But I decided to look at this area here in the front. I completely overlooked it because it looked like terrain. I never thought to take a look at this area. So that's what I did, and I'm showing you a close-up picture of what it looks like before I change it and make it sharper. The original picture, you can kind of see things, it's blurry, but when you sharpen it, everything stands out. It makes quite a big difference. And you can see in this picture around the 3 o'clock position there's that temple looking structure, where it goes up stair step on each side, and it really stands out when I turn the picture around into a negative. And it's just a different way to look. Pardon me. Other things stand out when you do this. So I let these pictures stay on for a long time. I usually rotate the pictures a little more quickly, and I think I rush it too much. And so I let these pictures stay because you need to look. This is requiring a little viewer participation. And I slowed the pace down quite a bit so you don't feel rushed. You can take the time to look. And I hate to sound like a broken record because I say it all the time. I even get tired of saying it, but you can't see this kind of stuff at a glance. Other things you can, but this in particular, it takes a little time to look. And this is the amazing part, really. The buildings, the big buildings, those are all amazing. Those are fantastic. But they don't cover anywhere near as much ground as all these little buildings that literally cover the entire surface almost, depending on where you are. They literally cover the ground. So you just you just need to take the time. That's all. I'm going to try not to say that too much anymore, but that's why I slowed it down. So you should be able to see what I'm talking about. Which reminds me, I mentioned before about a body of evidence. There's a lot to look at. Just today I was looking at some new pictures. I told my wife, I said, come look at this. See this rock? They have these rocks. They all look the same. They're rocks that are pointed, and there's rocks that are straight down on one side and slanted, and there's certain shapes. You start seeing these same shapes everywhere that are supposed to be rocks. And so I was showing her that, and then I said, I guarantee you these are buildings. So sure enough, I cleared it up, and bingo, just exactly what I thought. So you might want to pay attention to that in the future, and maybe I'll do a special video on it. But there are these rocks, you see them everywhere, but they all have the same shape, the same basic shape. And they're not rocks, obviously. They're buildings, they're big buildings. And that's another thing. I've been worried about trying to figure out how to figure out scale. And I've run across paying more attention about that here recently, and I ran across a number of pictures of panoramics that have little meters on the side that say how far of a distance. And they're totally not believable. I mean, they're talking about meters, like this is from here to here is 10 meters. It's totally not true. It's utterly ridiculous. And that's the thing, whenever they point out something and they want to show you something, that's the time you really want to look, because you don't look at what they're trying to tell you, you look what's there. They're masters at hiding things in plain sight, blurring it just enough where you cannot see the definition of, for instance, a stair-step building. I find it all the time. It's right in front of you. You don't even realize what you're looking at. And that's the biggest lesson I've learned lately is, and I've said it actually several times, but take a picture, pick a picture, pick a place in the picture, and enlarge it, and get ready. It's crazy. Now, I can't say that the entire planet of Mars is like this, but for sure around Gale Crater, anywhere around Gale Crater where Curiosity's been, because these are the only pictures I've been looking at are the Curiosity pictures. So wherever Curiosity rover has been, however many miles Curiosity rover has traveled, it's been taking pictures of buildings the entire time. On the mountains, huge buildings on the mountains, the cityscapes everywhere. Quite incredible, really quite incredible. So here we go. This is the picture from the rock nest, the infamous picture, and that's your Cocoa Puffs in chocolate milk there. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye now.